I'm supposed to be editing, or not, yeah, editing, revising. Um, I got distracted by a YouTube channel, and then I like looked over and I was like, all right, I'm supposed to be editing. Revising is like my least favorite part of the writing process, which isn't great because it's a large part of the writing process. Revising takes a long time. I can write a book in the month and I'll revise it for like 6 months. So that's how revising goes for me. But this is my first draft. Usually my first draft revisions go through pretty quickly because I think it's perfect because no one has seen it yet. So I'm gonna do this one in 1 week, 7 days. That is the goal, and stay tuned. I realized that I'm only on chapter 2 and it's 6:30 at night and I was supposed to be doing 5 chapters today, and I'm like just through chapter 2 because I'm trying to watch a YouTube video and edit at the same time, and I can't do it. I don't have the capacity for it. So I'm just gonna hunker down and do my edits, and then I can watch my YouTube stuff after. I'm at chapter 4 of 5 for the night. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, so then I was really, really tired. And just reading through these beginning 5 chapters are actually the most polished I have, because that was what I had Bader's read and went over a bunch of times to send to my agent initially for her to read and decide if this story was a good story to be pursuing. So they're actually my most polished chapters, so I don't even have a lot of revising to do for them. So then I was just kind of reading through, and I just I was already tired. I wasn't very active in the editing because I didn't have enough to do, and I was just so I had a 20-minute micro nap. So now I'm gonna hop in and do the very last chapter, and then I'm done for the night. So it is the second day of revisions. I did have plans with a friend, and then they canceled, and then we redid the plans, and then they canceled again. So I thought I was going to end up taking today off, but that was whatever. So I'm going to actually be working this day. I'm going to be taking Friday off instead now. So revisions, this is the first of me diving into sections that I hadn't previously already revised to death, basically. So I guess it's gonna take a lot longer. Things that I usually miss in drafting is things I had to look up. So I missed that, so I'll have to look up. And then I usually do a lot of telling. So I'll say stuff like, she was angry or something like that, instead of using a visual cue, her fists were shaking or something like that. So I usually use the emotion thesaurus, which is super, super good. It's really cheap on Kindle too. And so when I'm going through my book and my revisions tonight, probably I'll be looking at the emotion thesaurus a bunch. I also got a positive and negative traits thesaurus as well to kind of help me bring out their different traits a little bit more. So I'm probably going to look at that before I start, just to kind of give me an idea of my mind of the traits I want to bring out when I'm going into writing. And then of course fixing all my settings, because something I constantly neglect when I'm writing and doing a rough draft is that I won't include a setting. So I'll just start, and they'll start moving around, and it'll be where are they in space? I don't know where they are. They're lost. So that's going to be something that I'm going to be working on while I do this revision. I did it! So day 2 of revising. Uh, yeah, it was, it's 10 o'clock now. So when I got home at like 6, it's been like roughly 4 hours of revising. So I have like an hour to myself for the night. Which is fine. Like with my revisions, I understand that I do more in a night so that I can finish faster. So I have like a week in which I have no evenings essentially, and then I have a bunch of time. I'll have 3 weeks while my CPs and betas are reading to do whatever I want. So that's that. Um, Challenges. I'm trying to think of like challenges and triumphs to make this a little bit more interesting. So today, something I had to do, one of my characters, she like ends up at a palace essentially, and she has these attendants who like do her hair and that sort of thing. And I made 4 of them, and I just like for the life of me didn't inject a ton of personality into each one. So today, one of my challenges, I had to basically do a document, like a side document in Scrivener, where I just listed the 4 of them and I listed what they looked like. I listed one like standout attribute that they have that I can use to help the reader identify them and remember them, plus all their names. And then when I was introducing them this time, I made sure I was hitting on the physical description and their attribute that marks them as a character so that it's kind of easier for the reader to tell them apart. So that was kind of a challenge, along with the chapters being like so long now. Like each chapter is basically like 3,000 words now. I think in the first 5 chapters they were a lot closer to 2,000 or 1,500, and now they're just like all very long. So that was another challenge. Triumph for day 2. What was a triumph for day 2? I'm not having to edit so much. Like I'm really editing very small details. Like I haven't had to cut anything big. I honestly did that when I was drafting. Like I thought of a kind of plot hole thing, and I ended up getting rid of an entire chapter I wrote and like writing an entire new chapter, and that was kind of the biggest thing I had done. And I did that during drafting. I didn't even do that during revising. It's really been small things during revising, which is nice for me because then I'm not having to do huge overhauls, though I'm sure I will once beta and CPs get their claws into it. Those helpful claws. Very helpful, but also very cry, because then it's like, man, I gotta fix stuff. But that's writing, so. Hey. It's now become like a cooking with Lizelle video, essentially. I'm making my dinner, so I figured I'll just like pre-chat about stuff while I'm doing that, because I'm already here, so I may as well. Yeah, so today was like a weird day. My brain likes to do this thing where it decides all of a sudden. Does this look like I'm looking this way? Okay, no, it's doing it right. Where my brain all of a sudden decides that it's going to obsess about something. So today, my brain decided to obsess about something negative. So like I had like a negative online interaction like last week. Was it last week? Probably last week. It was just like some shitty troll person trying to crap on me because they feel badly about themselves and their life. And I know with trolls, you're supposed to like not feed trolls and like not get caught up in what people online are saying about you. But honestly, it was like really upsetting to me just because it was so uncalled for. But also it just like, yeah, it was really annoying. And the day when that had happened, I was already having kind of like a negative mood type day. Like I was already kind of feeling a bit down on myself. And so it didn't really help. And I was very annoyed about it. And then I like vented to all my friends, and then I felt better about it. And I was like, whatever. And then today my brain was like, you know what we should think about again? That mean thing that someone said that made us feel bad about ourselves. So it decided that, yeah, I was gonna think about that suddenly. I need to wash these. It decided that I was gonna think about that suddenly, and it really kind of ruined my mood for the afternoon and made me feel really crappy. And I think that's kind of like, that's the hard bit about when you put yourself out there on social media in like writing communities and that sort of thing. Like, you also open yourself up for people to be shitty to you. And that was really just kind of annoying, and it was annoying to think about that. Anyway, that made my afternoon really shitty. And then I got outside into the sun, and like the vitamin D just refreshed me. Like, I felt so much better after I was in the sun, and then I just felt great, and my mood was just like through the roof. And yeah, and then I got home and I was like I was feeling pretty good, and I'm still feeling pretty good. Now I'm just like cooking this dinner. I'm making curry chicken for myself. I'm doing Whole30 right now, which is like basically so that I can quit my addiction to sugar, because I was basically eating dessert every single day. If you follow me on Instagram, you know how much dessert I was having, and that was like, it seemed like maybe I was strategically posting that stuff, but like when desserts were showing up what looked like every day, it's because I was consuming dessert every day. And I don't need to be that addicted to sugar, so I'm doing Whole30, which is like no sugar, no not carbs, because there's carbs in fruit, no sugar, no bread, no pastas, no legumes, that sort of thing, just to kind of give my body that reset, and to stop my dependence on sugar and stop my dependence on like breads and that sort of thing, and just like eat more vegetables and like meats and that sort of thing. So I finished my revisions for the night. I've got my nighttime smoothie that I always drink or try to drink. I don't know. I drink it unless it's like really, really late. Like if it's 11 o'clock, I'm not going to make a smoothie, but whatever. I finished my revisions for the day. It was all right. It took about the same time. It always takes about like 4 to 5 hours around for me to get the 5 chapters done. I do actually have some like evening left because my family wasn't home. I actually concentrated. Not that they distract me themselves. They're actually like incredibly respectful of all my writing space. I use them to distract myself. So anyway, yeah, I got a lot done. And I'm really rediscovering like really what I'm writing. I'm writing a Caribbean high fantasy, but it's also like a comedy. Like it's supposed to be funny. And then when I was drafting it, at some point I was like, is this still funny? Like, is this still comedic like it's supposed to be? And reading through it, I'm really feeling that. Like, it is still funny. Like, it's supposed to be funny. It's just like a really fun book. I don't know if that'll make it sellable, but it's super fun. And that's what I really like about it. I just love how, like, it's just like fun. It's just like a fun romp. You know, I don't think it's not an award winner, but it's real fun. And I think that's important sometimes too. So that's what I got done tonight. And I'm halfway through. I'm right before the midpoint. So next day it's gonna be fast. It's day 4. I thought it was day 5 for a second and got confused. It's day 4 of revisions. I just passed halfway yesterday, so today I'm just gonna burn through and get those 5 chapters done. Tomorrow, Friday, I just got some like braiding hair in. I have to spend like 8 to 12 hours braiding my hair. So I'm gonna take the day off tomorrow from writing. So today I'm gonna get in my 5 chapters, take the day off on Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday finish up. So that I'm done by the time it's Monday. Done in a week is the plan. We'll see. My brain is like, I have to do it because I already planned the title for this video to be revising a book in a week. And if I don't do it in a week, I can't use that title. And it's really hard to come up with video titles, so I just have to do it. Anyway, day 4. Let's go. So I'm done for the night. I ended up combining 2 chapters into one. One chapter was only like 800 words, and like most of my chapters are like 2,000 or 3,000 words. So it seemed weird to like have a 800 word chapter, and that's just like way too short for a chapter for me. So I combined it with another chapter. I'm still stopping tonight because it would have been 5 chapters. I'm not gonna go and like read another chapter, so that's 5. But I finished earlier, which is good because I actually have a bunch of stuff to do today. I gotta like wash my hair, and that actually takes a very long time. And then tomorrow I have the day off. Yeah, so that's it for day 4. I woke up early because I had to do my hair. I'm heading off to go to the rosé picnic with my friends. I'm doing Whole30 right now, which I talked about earlier, so I'm actually not drinking, but there's lots of like photo ops and like hanging out with my friends is still cool, so I'm just gonna do that. Because I woke up early to do my hair anyway, I was able to get 3 chapters read. I still got to do 1 more for today, and then tomorrow will be my last day of revising, and then I'll do 5 chapters. But we'll see how I feel when I get back. I might be able to do like more revising than I expected I would be able to do, but we'll see, and I'll see you at the rosé picnic. So I'm back from the rosé picnic and black artisan market. They also had a black artisan market there, like for all black businesses selling like craft stuff and beauty supplies and food and all of that. So that was really cool. And it was in the same place, so I just checked it out after the picnic. I came home, I finished the last chapter that I had to read for the day. Read and revise for the day, not just read, I also have to revise it. So I got that finished, and that's really, yeah, that's it for Saturday. So today is the final day of revisions. I'm very on track, so I don't see how I could not end up finishing today. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started, get that done, finish off this last bit of the story for revising, and then I'll be able to send it off to CPs and betas. I'm done! I just finished revisions on my Caribbean High Fantasy. I'm feeling really good about it. It's at a good length. It's like 72,000 words. I'm sure there are areas of improvement that betas and CPs will point out, and I'm sure it could be like even like more polished, but I think this is a really solid first draft for me to get some great feedback on. And thanks so much, guys, for watching this vlog with me. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe to my channel. I post videos once a week, every Tuesday. And yeah, I post things like vlogs and writing advice and some Let's Play Sims YA style videos. So if you like all that, definitely subscribe and check those videos out. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!